God, dude, this is a big one. It's been a long time since we've seen anything on State of Decay 3. We finally get some more information to say the least, right? This is Zachary Body over at PC Gamer saying State of Decay 3 FAQ. Get ready? It's a long one, so bear with me. State of Decay 3 is a long-awaited sequel to State of Decay 2, a community management and zombie survival game from Undead Labs and Xbox Game Studios. State of Decay 3 is the third entry in the State of Decay franchise and the follow-up to State of Decay 2. State of Decay 2 has enjoyed dozens of content updates and community millions strong. Dude, they have a huge community, which is very exciting. But they've never quite reached the full ambition that they've had with the game. I think is the biggest thing, right? Here we go to State of Decay 3 with the full backing of Xbox Game Studios and an extended team of developers is expected to significantly expand in scope and increase in quality. State of Decay 3 was originally revealed during the Xbox Bethesda game showcase back in 2022. 2 years ago, dude. That's a while. We need to see something this year, don't you think?
Yeah, I think, next month's coming up quite quickly. There will be a great opportunity to release some more information.
Absolutely. With a short teaser trailer, and since then, Undead Labs has mostly been pretty well quiet, like dead silent. We know that, as of July 2020, State of Decay 3 has been in active development, with the developer mentioning at the time that it had been working on it for, quote, some time, end quote, already. In a previous interview, Xbox Game Studios head Matt Booty noted that they expected State of Decay 3 to be a much bigger, persistent online game, and that Microsoft's involvement would help Undead Labs to get there sooner. We even know that Undead Labs is working with the coalition of the Gears of War fame to develop State of Decay 3 in Unreal Engine 5. Oh man, that's according to an interview with Larry Herb and Matt Booty. Quote, when we first started working on State of Decay, we had a much bigger game, a much more persistent online game, and I know that Undead Labs will get there eventually, but by bringing them into the Microsoft family, I think we're able to accelerate that and get us there sooner with it, which is great. In the case of Undead Labs, we absolutely want to make State of Decay 3. That is our clear goal. The studio will have some incubation. They'll work on some things, but this is State of Decay 3 team. And quote, is from Matt Booty, game studio head. It's gonna be interesting to see how much bigger this game becomes than State of Decay 2, Scott. Jumping into Unreal Engine 5, dude, there's a ton of improvements they can make.
Oh yeah, my first thought when I was met with number 2, because I did play number 2 a little bit, was that it just doesn't look as nice as it could. It doesn't have to be so incredibly gory to catch my eye, but it just didn't quite have that nice look to it. And there's not only that you can do with Unreal 5, but the new technology that we have in the consoles today for a persistent online world, there might actually be a lot that's tenable and much more attractive now.
This, to me, seems like it's gearing up for another Sea of Thieves experience, meaning games of service, Scott. What will State of Decay 3 gameplay be like? Well, State of Decay 3 will likely play similarly to State of Decay 2, but we expect to see considerable improvements to moment-to-moment gameplay, multiplayer elements, and more. Beyond the setting, we also get a look at some really awesome scenes showing how the plague has manifested into the new game. In a disturbing role reversal, we see an undead deer devouring the corpse of a wolf before screeching into the camera. Previously, State of Decay 3 was only human and mutated human enemies. So now it's going into the world of the animals as well, Scott. It's affecting the entire world. I like
that. Could lead to a lot of really intense gameplay moments if you're wandering around in the woods and now you find some of these wolves, for example.
Absolutely.
Or deer, for that matter.
Given the wintry setting, practically any wild animal is a potential candidate for zombification. Zombie wolves, zombie moose, zombie bears, Scott. Yeah, the last one is particularly terrifying. Absolutely. We may also see improvements to moment-to-moment gameplay, base and community management, and more. The base building, dude, needs to be really improved upon. The community management, I think, needs an overhaul. I think we're gonna get into basically. I think what we're gonna get from AC1 to AC2, but we're gonna go from State of Decay 2 to State of Decay 3 here. I think we're going from the ground up, rebuilding all the fundamentals that we've had and enjoyed with State of Decay 2. Dude, today people are still playing State of Decay 2.
Yeah, well, still very popular. I'm hoping that we can see some sort of rework with this where we get the community management becomes more of a colony sim. If it was played out, I don't know how you make it work on a console and how you play that out properly, but I'd just like to see that level of detail.
Sure. Hopefully State of Decay 3 will put aside the jank and deliver something a little bit more polished across the board. Definitely some jank there when 2 launched. Absolutely. Cinematic trailer also sets a very, very high bar for visuals and animation. Unreal Engine 5 says it all. Dude, if they're going for their realism look now, because State of Decay 2, much more cartoony feeling, right?
Yeah, a bit more like Dauntless. It had that filter over it.
Exactly. Where now I feel we're kind of pulling in more of The Last of Us. That makes sense, right?
Has me a lot more excited.
What will the story be for State of Decay 3? Well, State of Decay 3 will be set in the same world as its predecessor, but will embark in a new location and focus more on character building and development. State of Decay 2 had a story, but it was really just kind of there to push you along. It didn't really have a lot at its base game. I haven't jumped back in to see all the DLC, so I don't know if they've improved upon that. I think they have slightly, but I expect more of a huge impact on the story to have more consequences, to have more weight. Dude, losing some of your characters permanently, because there's permadeath in the game, hurts when you're building up, right? And you've worked on, specking out one particular character that's helped you build your base, help you go out and forage. All of a sudden you lose them. That hurts. But how can they play off of that and the story at the same time? That would be cool.
Yeah, I have a lot of emotional impact surrounding that, perhaps. I wonder if that's going to be something that's a pre-written story, or if it's going to be based on your interactions and that sort of thing.
I'm very curious.
Create your own adventure that way.
I hope my character has a voice. I'm just saying it right now. I hope the character has a voice. Please don't make them a silent protagonist. Can't stand that anymore.
I had enough of those.
I absolutely have had a lot of those over the years, and I'm just done. They always say, the developers themselves go, well, we want them to be you. I'm like, I understand that. At the same time, I don't buy it because my character doesn't say a word. I don't believe it in the first place, right? So
I have a voice, so I'm already disconnected by the fact the character does not have one. Yeah,
exactly. So when will we see State of Decay release? That's the biggest question, Scott. State of Decay 3 has no confirmed release date, and it's improbable that the game is close to any official launch. Late 2024 may be a possibility, but I wouldn't expect the game until 2025 at the early. There is that. Now, Scott, the other question becomes, I saw somebody ask, where are we going to be playing the game? Mostly next-gen consoles or current gen, right? I think we'll say goodbye to Xbox One. I don't think they'll be able to have the sheer scope of the game play on an Xbox One. It's time to move on.
No, I would like to see every developer kind of move on to the next one. But the last question that is begged is, well, is this going to come to PlayStation in some time?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think they want to do that right off the hop. I think State of Decay 3 is going to have a splash. They have a huge community, right? Let's cater to that community. Build that community up. And maybe they can pull some of those. Because as friends go, hey, yo, I'm over on Xbox right now playing State of Decay 3. You got to get an Xbox, right? Or you got to get Game Pass. Because it's coming to Game Pass. It has co-op already. So if you have co-op crossplay between PC and Xbox, dude, there's another avenue into the ecosystem, right? And they can kind of flush it that way. Definitely opportunities. I do not see this going to PlayStation day one. Maybe over the years, maybe it does become that Sea of Thieves kind of thing, right? And eventually,
that's kind of what I was thinking.
It'll come over, but not on day one. Like, we still haven't even seen the game. I'm hoping we see a lot more of it at the Xbox Showcase next month, which is really like, what are we, a week away, 2 weeks away now?
Yeah,
so fast.
Just about 1 week away now, which is exciting. I'm thinking we're going to see something about that. I don't know if we'll get an actual release date, but I'm going to hazard a guess here and say October of 2024.
Ooh.
In before the end of the year.
Oh, I like it. I'd love to see it. Absolutely. We'd love to see you over at ITGTV.com. Let us know your thoughts on State of Decay 3.